The empowerment card I pulled for today, October 9th, is the energy card. It says life force is flowing. Open yourself to receive the power from within. And I love the colors of this card, and I feel like they're super like passionate, inspiring, and really just about flowing with the energy. And also the fact that I wrote down some notes. I wrote that your environment around you is a product of what is inside of you. If you're giving out the positive, like energy that's full of like gratitude, understanding, appreciation, and kindness, and just embodying like your greatest energy and what you have for the day, that is what you're going to get back. And sometimes, not to say that you can't be in a bad mood, because obviously sometimes we can be, but I feel like when you are consistently putting out those difficult emotions, not saying they're bad or anything, we don't really have good or bad emotions. Sometimes they can just be, a little bit easier, sometimes a little bit more difficult. But when you're putting out those more difficult emotions, like when you're angry and you're constantly living in that anger, that is what you're going to get back. And it might not be directly, it can be like in other situations that are going to anger you even more, but when you are consistently putting out that positive energy, that's what you're going to get back. So I think today's message is to just be aware and cognizant of the energy that you're putting out, and also the energy that you're receiving. And when I was actually like thinking of the message for this card and I was writing more and more, it was reminding me of the video that I'm going to be recording for Monday. Like, I think as of like right now, when this is out, I'm going to be recording that video this day. And it is more about harnessing your energy and being magnetic, drawing in the things that you truly desire, and also figuring out where you want to put your energy. And sometimes I feel like we can get, when we aren't really aware of ourselves and we're not really authentic and we're not, living in our confidence, and we're kind of confused, our energy can also be confused and our energy can be jumbled. So today's video, well, this video that I'm making, not this empowerment message, but the video that I'm recording for Monday, is about how to really take hold of your energy and to use it to attract the things that you want to do, and to receive, and also how to become magnetic and attracting exactly what you want. Because like, when I don't want to get too much into it, because I'm really excited for that video too, but just doing it in the most authentic way for you. But another aspect of this energy card that I was thinking about was that you have the power to create your reality with your energy. And I think I was inspired by the first line. It says life force is flowing. This is what the card says. And I also wrote, even if you don't know exactly what you want, or you're just open to receiving whatever it is, saying that everything is always working out for you for your highest good is something that can be really, really helpful. That's something that I say to myself, and I pair that with like words of gratitude, words of affirmation, and things like that. And I feel like when I am just open to, seeing what happens, seeing the greatest things that can happen to me, and just being open to knowing that, everything is always working out for me. I don't really have to worry about anything, and there's no need to worry, because, when we worry, we lack a little bit of that trust. And when we're not trusting, I think we can like can confuse certain things. We can confuse our energy, and we can kind of get out of the energy that, can be just allowing things to happen, and we can become a little bit less receptive. We can be a little bit more resistant to things happening, and feeling like that we have all of the answers, because I feel like we don't really have all the answers. There are things that are probably going to happen 5-10 years in my life, down the road, that I can't even envision right now, that I have no idea about. But I just know that things are going to always happen for me for the greatest good of me, even if I can't see that, whatever that is right now. So sometimes being in that energy helps, of just being receptive, being open, and being excited for things that can happen. Because honestly, like I said, that's just how I go through my day. And I'm always like surprised, like in the best way. And I feel like even telling myself the miracles are common. I think that's what I wanted to say. But miracles happen very often to me. And just being in that energy of being receptive and being open and being, like I said, excited and happy and just positive about how things can go. Because like I said, everything is happening for our greatest good, even if we can't see that in the present moment. But for my next note, I wrote, keep creating that desired reality for yourself and working with the energy around you. If you're unhappy with something, change it or remove it. And if you are happy with something, figure out how to bring more of it in. And I feel like sometimes we can get a little bit in just like the physical, in the day to day, and thinking that things have to stay the same if we're unhappy with them, if we have to stay in a certain job, or we need to stay in a certain like situation, environment, or in a group, or whatever it is, if we're unhappy with it. Like, you can try to adjust that situation, you can try to change it for your greatest good and try to make it fit into your life a little bit better. But also, if it's not working, you can plan to remove that thing. You don't have to keep that thing in your life, and you don't need to keep being miserable, and you don't have to keep allowing that energy into your life if you don't want it to, if you don't want it to be there. And again, on the opposite side of that, if you want to experience more of something, if you're really happy with something in your life, learn how to magnify that and enhance it, and how you can just make it even greater. And I feel like sometimes there will be like aspects of my business that are doing really well, and I'll be like, okay, how can I make that even better? How can I capitalize on that and just like keep going with that? Because I feel like, when things are going well, we should keep going with that thing. We shouldn't shut it down, and we should learn how to like amplify it, how to work with it more, how to, do it in a slightly different way, how to, just make it better in our lives, and to keep it going, to keep it consistent too. But know that you have that power from within you. Like it says on the card, open yourself to receive the power from within, because you have all of that power inside of you, in order to create the life that you want to wake up to every single day, the life that you want to be happy to wake up to. I think I said this in my last video in the Dreamer card, for October 8th. It was, you should be creating a life for yourself that you want to be happy to wake up to every single day, that you want to be excited about, that you don't want to like dread every single day, like you don't want to wake up and just be like unhappy for the day. Create a life for yourself that you want to live, that you're excited to see what's next. So you have the power inside of you to create that. You have that energy. You can work with that energy, and you can really shape things however you want to see them. Again, if there's something that you want to remove from your life, go ahead and do that. If there's something that you want to amplify, go ahead and see how you can do that and bring more of it into your life. But I think that also starts with us at our core, and embodying the energy that we want to attract, and being what we want to see. So yeah, I think if you want to attract more people, again, this goes into my video that's going to be on Monday, but if you want to see more people in your life, and you want to have more customers, more friends, more supporters and loved ones in your life that are really supportive of you, and that really value you, that are really caring, that are, considerate, and, just I remember at one of my markets over the weekend, there were these just two people walking by my table, and someone else had walked the opposite way, but their bag had like shifted, like the bracelets on my table, and had knocked them over. But the two people who were walking by my table like went over and like were aligning them. So it's things like that where, like, as long as you are acting as that person, because like that is the type of person I am. Like if I saw something unaligned, or like even in stores, I will fold things back up just so like the people working there don't have to do that. Because honestly, I feel like people when they're shopping can be like super messy, and not that it's like not attacking anyone, but I've just like noticed it, that people can just like pick things up and put them down and not really think about it. But like I want to attract the people who are also putting things back together and cleaning things up, and going that extra mile just to be kind. And I've been more that person, so it's just natural to attract those types of people, which was exactly what I was doing. Like at my market, all of the customers that I had were really, really kind people, and I noticed that other people who again were like knocking things over, not really saying thank you, were not my customers. So just embody the energy, the people, the relationships that you want to invite into your life. So as soon as you are that, as soon as you know exactly what you want to embody, like you need to know that at the core. And I'm tired. I'm like, I keep saying more and more about this video on Monday, but just know that that is what it's going to be about. And there's going to be more and more tips, and like just my secrets and stuff about that, and more into it. But just don't forget how powerful you are, and don't forget how powerful your energy is. And you have the chance every single day, and I say this all the time, to change your reality, to, if you're unhappy with something, to pluck it out of your life and to change it, and to tweak things. So you have that power every single day. You don't need to wait for a certain day to do that. And, you know, you don't need to wait for Monday. You don't need to wait for the first of the month. Like, you can choose the second to do that as you're watching this. You can write down, you know, things that you're unhappy about, things that you would like to adjust. You know, you can have a revelation at any point in your life. So just know that you have the free will. You can choose. You are the main character in your life. I am just like an NPC. Isn't that what it's called? I think. And so, you know, you can just choose however you want your life to go. I'm just like a little fleeting moment in your life, and I hope I'm giving you a little bit of inspiration for today's message. You know, just keep going with the energy that you want to be, and keep embodying that. Keep creating, because, you know, you have that life force inside of you to create, which is really, really powerful and really incredible, that you can really create your reality. You can create like physical things that you want to see and you want to see into the world. So yeah, I think that was it for today's message. That was everything. Just don't forget how powerful you are, and don't forget the choices that you have every single day to live a life and to create a life that you genuinely and authentically feel like you are happy to be living. If there's something you're not happy about, make a plan to make it something you are happy about. Make a plan to remove it, make a plan to change it, and replace it with something else. So yes, that was it. I think today's Thursday, and I will be back tomorrow with another message on the 10th. That's my brother's birthday. So I will be back on the 10th with another message. I hope also whenever you're seeing this, I hope it is like perfectly timed for you. That is, you know, I'm just putting this out there, hoping that whoever needs to see it is seeing it. But I will be back tomorrow with another empowerment message. Bye for now.